People who wear pajamas in public are often accused of giving up on life, but maybe in fact they're actually living their best lives. Shower thoughts. When you really think about it, most friends are made in a classroom setting, which explains why it's harder to make friends as an adult. Millions of people still don't know that the sun is white and not yellow. Technology hasn't made things easier. It's made us work longer, harder, and for less money. Your pet is completely unaware of most of the animals that you know about. They don't even know what a penguin is. Millions of people think day and night is because of Earth rotating around the sun. Young people in the 2080s are gonna find pictures of their grandma with her using a dog filter. Saving a video to watch later is similar to highlighting text as you read. There's a perception that you can't just invent a word, and yet hundreds of thousands of them have been invented. Shower thoughts. You know you're old when your birth year starts being used as a flashback in movies. Having a day off to do nothing is considered bad if you're depressed, but good if you're not depressed. You don't have any proof that other people can't read your mind. Adoption is just the skip intro button for parenting. Most romance you see is fueled by either loneliness, low self-esteem, or insecurities. Fame is only attractive because there is money involved. Otherwise, it's a very crappy experience. People are not scared of being alone in the dark, they are scared of not being alone. Mid to late 20s is a weird age where you can still pass as a teenager, but you can feel your body is falling apart with each passing day. 3 a.m. feels much more like the middle of the night than midnight. Shower thoughts. The old you is actually the younger you. You'll never see your own ears, you may see a picture or a reflection of them, but you'll never see your actual ears. One day, being a millionaire is not going to be considered rich. A good climbing rope lasts 3 years, a bad climbing rope lasts your entire life. You can really tell who hasn't worked in a retail or customer service job by the way they treat the workers at the store. The Tooth Fairy injects mass amounts of newly created money into the economy and therefore directly causes inflation. In our lifespan, we don't even get to meet 1% of the human population. Maybe moths aren't attracted to the light, they're just scared of the dark. Good people will recognize your effort to socialize even if you're being weird. Shower thoughts. Everything is boring when you lack imagination. We are annoyed by how few calories we burn when having exercised, but it is actually very impressive of our bodies that it uses up a very little amount of energy. One unforeseen aspect of becoming a parent is that suddenly you are open to a whole new genre of nightmares that involve losing your kid. We need a car signal that tells people we're going straight ahead. Toothpaste is supposed to taste not so awful that people avoid to brush their teeth, and not so appetizing that people eat it. The most terrifying sound in the dead of night in the wilderness is human voices. How come it's socially acceptable to make your kids do your job if you own a farm, but not if you work in an office? Shower thoughts. Technically, our two most standard ice cream flavors are beans. The way a family is made is not family friendly. Maybe the Chinese spy balloon isn't tracking anything except our reaction to it. A superhero that hides his or her identity and kills bad guys is technically a serial killer. Slippers and high heels are opposite ends of the comfort spectrum, yet they're equally difficult to run in. Whenever you buy and eat half of a chicken, you're secretly sharing a meal with a stranger. Looking for a needle in a haystack is much easier if you start with a match. Pressing the door lock button on your car's key fob just once never seems to lock it enough. Drinking a lot of water before you nap can serve as a natural alarm clock. Shower thoughts. Humans have built cities, spaceships, and supercomputers, but we still can't figure out how to live in a peace with one another. People are more angry when you almost cause an accident than if you really do cause one. One of the most annoying, harmless things that can happen is remembering you are breathing, then having to manually take over until you forget again. Being able to do well in high school without having to put in much effort is actually a big disadvantage later in life. life. Someone under 25 buying a money-counting machine is very suspicious. It'd be pretty unnerving if we were able to hear babies crying inside the womb. The IRS doesn't tax the wealthy, but if you win enough money to become wealthy, they will tax you. People cover their laptop cameras for fear of hackers, but never their iPhone cameras. Shower thoughts. It's someone's depressing job to make child-sized caskets. We will never be able to know the exact reason for our existence and the existence of the universe. When in your mid-30s, you are only considered young if you die. A telephone makes sound travel faster than sound. Capes are way cooler in video games and movies than in real life. The internet is the most reliable source of unreliable information. People not wanting to work for little pay is a problem which can actually be fixed simply by throwing money at it. You know you've gotten older when you no longer enjoy snow. At some point, a chef can become so famous that they no longer have to cook anything to continue being famous, aka Gordon Ramsay. Wedding rings are technically the do not disturb signs for the dating world. Shower thoughts. It's crazy how water can drown you, freeze you, burn you, and even cut you, yet you still need it to live. Sometimes we smile showing the top row of our teeth, and sometimes it's both rows, but it's never just the bottom row. Garlic and onion air fresheners are a terrible idea, but as soon as you start cooking it, everybody comments how amazing your house smells. BMI calculators are useless for people who have lost a limb. Movies based on video games are finally starting to get good, because the people who grew up playing them are old enough to be directing, writing, and acting in them. Once you've learned a language, you can't hear it without understanding it ever again. We live in a world where people don't want to watch ads and are willing to pay to not see them. The internet was made without the internet. Shower thoughts. 99% of what your body does, it does itself. Your body actually trusts you very little. It's actually pretty easy to come up with a sentence that has never been said before. Even when staring deeply into a mirror, you will never see yourself blink. In the movie Toy Story, it must be pure agony to exist as an unassembled Lego set. Some history books in the future will have screenshots of important tweets that happened during our lifetime. As a kid, teenagers seemed so big and scary because in most TV shows they were actually played by adults in their 20s. The first thing Thomas Edison must have wondered after inventing the light bulb was where all these moths were coming from. Maybe UFOs are radioactive and that's why the footage of them is always blurry. The last person on Earth won't ever have a funeral. Shower thoughts. It is surprising that orange juice is traditionally a morning drink considering how incompatible it is with toothpaste. Grenades in movies take a lot longer to explode when they land near a good guy who has a chance to throw it back. The invention of light bulbs was such a great idea that it became the symbol of ideas. Whenever you feel sad, just remember there are billions of cells in your body and all they care about is you. The existence of cameras is such an absurd thing and we take it for granted. The price of eggs has gone up so much that we can no longer afford to offer an egg in these trying times. A vegan's diet still involves animal death in order to grow crops.